Have you ever had food cravings that felt totally out of control? Ever felt extra anxious or depressed for no apparent reason? Or maybe you get sick all the time and can't figure out why. How do you actually fix it? And here are some easy science-based ways to boost your gut health. About 90% of serotonin, the feel-good hormone, is produced in gut by bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. Babies born via C-section have different microbiome than those born vaginally. Your gut microbes are literally talking to your brain. Scientists call this the gut-brain axis. Today we are talking about one of the most exciting, mind-blowing, and frankly underestimated parts of human health, the gut microbiome. But here's what's wild. These microbes aren't just there for the ride. They control how you digest food, how your immune system works, and even how your brain functions. Your gut and brain are in constant communication through vagus nerve, hormones, and neurotransmitters. This is why the gut is sometimes called the second brain. By the end of this episode, you will learn how gut bacteria influence everything from your mood to metabolism, your cravings to your immune system, and even how pharmaceutical and biotech companies are now racing to develop microbiome-based drugs that could change the future of medicine. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's talk about this tiny universe inside you that's running the show. Let me start with a crazy thought. What if I told you that you are not actually the one making decisions about what you eat, how much energy you have, or even how you feel? What if the cravings you get, the mood swings, the brain fog, it's not all you, but instead trillions of tiny microorganisms living inside you? Sound like something out of a sci-fi movie? Well, welcome to the reality of gut microbiome. Today we are talking about one of the most exciting, mind-blowing, and frankly underestimated parts of human health, the gut microbiome. Because trust me, this is something you're going to want to understand. By the end of this episode, you will learn how gut bacteria influence everything from your mood to metabolism, your cravings to your immune system, and even how pharmaceutical and biotech companies are now racing to develop microbiome-based drugs that could change the future of medicine. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's talk about this tiny universe inside you that's running the show. First, let's set the scene. Inside your digestive system, there are over 100 trillion bacteria, fungi, and viruses. That means you have more microbial cells than human cells. Yes, you're technically more bacteria than human. But here's what's wild. These microbes aren't just there for the ride. They control how you digest food, how your immune system works, and even how your brain functions. And that's why scientists now call the gut the second brain. And before you think, okay, what does this have to do with me? Well, have you ever had food cravings that felt totally out of control? Ever felt extra anxious or depressed for no apparent reason? Or maybe you get sick all the time and can't figure out why. Yes, that's your gut microbiome at work. Scientists call this the gut-brain axis. So let's talk about the various part. Your gut microbes are literally talking to your brain, and it explains why you feel butterflies in your stomach when you are nervous, or why stress can literally make you feel sick. And here's how it works. Your gut bacteria produce neurotransmitters, the chemicals that control your mood and energy. For example, tryptophan makes serotonin, the happiness chemical found in turkey, eggs, and chia seeds. Tyrosine makes dopamine, the motivation chemical found in almonds, lentil, edamame. Indole-3 lactic acid, ILA, turns into IPA, indole-3 propionic acid, one of the strongest antioxidants in the body, found in fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and kefir. If your gut bacteria are out of balance, boom, low energy, bad mood, and weird food cravings. And that's why gut health isn't just about digestion, it's about mental health, weight management, and longevity. Alright, so we have talked about what destroys microbiome, but let's flip it. How do you actually fix it? And here are some easy science-based ways to boost your gut health. Number one, eat more fiber. Whole grains, legumes, fruits, and veggies feed good bacteria. Number two, fermented foods are your friend. Yogurt, kimchi, kefir, miso introduce healthy gut bacteria. Number three, limit processed food and artificial sweeteners. They disrupt gut balance and promote inflammation. Number four, manage stress. Chronic stress weakens microbiome. Meditation, deep breathing, or even walking can help. Get dirty, literally. Playing in nature and interacting with pets exposes you to beneficial bacteria. And the best part, when you improve your gut health, you don't just feel better physically, you think clearer, you sleep better, and even feel happier. Studies show that artificial sweeteners like aspartame and saccharin can change gut bacteria composition and may contribute to glucose intolerance. Isn't that crazy? You're taking artificial sweeteners to prevent diabetes, but it's causing diabetes. Babies born via C-section have different microbiome than those born vaginally. An early antibiotic use can alter gut bacteria, affecting immunity and metabolism in the long run. Probiotics like yogurt and kimchi introduce beneficial bacteria, whereas prebiotics like garlic, onion, and bananas feed the good bacteria, helping them thrive. An unhealthy microbiome, which is also known as dysbiosis, has been linked to obesity, diabetes, IBS, heart diseases, and even neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Your gut and brain are in constant communication through vagus nerve, hormones, and neurotransmitters. This is why the gut is sometimes called the second brain. About 90% of serotonin, the feel-good hormone, is produced in gut by bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. They also help regulate dopamine and GABA, which influence motivation, relaxation, and anxiety. Studies show that people with depression, anxiety, and even schizophrenia often have an altered gut microbiome. Researchers are exploring psychobiotics, probiotic strains that could improve mental well-being. About 70% of your immune system is in the gut, and microbes help regulate immune responses. Gut bacteria educate immune cells so that they don't overreact to harmless substances, and which is why gut dysbiosis is linked to autoimmune diseases like Crohn's and lupus. Healthy gut bacteria prevent harmful pathogens from taking over by overcompeting them and producing natural antibiotics like bacteriocins. Let me share a fun fact with you. A diverse microbiome is key to a strong immune system, and studies show that kids raised on farms with more microbial exposure have lower rates of allergies and asthma than urban raised kids. Isn't it surprising? Your microbiome influences how you digest food, store fat, and feel hungry. People with obesity tend to have more firmicutes and fewer Bacteroidetes bacteria, which makes them extract more calories from food. In a famous experiment, scientists transplanted gut bacteria from obese mice into lean mice, and the lean mice became fat without changing their diet. Some gut bacteria influence cravings by manipulating your brain chemistry. Candida overgrowth is linked to sugar cravings, while Akkermansia muciniphila is associated with better metabolism and weight control. Babies born vaginally inherit mother's microbiome, while C-section babies have a microbiome resembling skin bacteria. And this can affect immunity and metabolism in the long run. A single course of antibiotics can kill up to 90% of gut bacteria, and it can take months to years to fully recover. Some bacteria never return. Overuse is linked to obesity, allergies, and IBS. Now, here's where things get futuristic. Scientists are realizing that fixing microbiome could be the key to treating everything from obesity to depression, autoimmune diseases, and even cancer. And here are some of the biggest breakthroughs happening right now. Fecal microbiota transplants. Sounds gross, but it's one of the most effective treatments for a deadly infection called C. difficile. Companies like Seres Therapeutics, Rebiotics are developing poop pills. Yes, actual capsules containing healthy bacteria to restore the gut. Vedanta Biosciences is creating drugs using bacterial consortia, carefully selected groups of bacteria to treat conditions like inflammatory bowel syndrome. Second Genome is using gut bacteria to develop precision therapies for metabolic diseases and even cancer. Companies like Zoe, Viome are analyzing gut microbiomes and using AI recommended personalized diets to optimize gut health and longevity. So in the future, instead of taking a random probiotic from the supermarket, we might all have customized AI generated gut health plans, or even take a microbiome based pill to prevent disease before it even starts. So what's the big takeaway? The gut microbiome is one of the most exciting frontiers in medicine, and we are only scratching the surface. Pharma and biotech companies are racing to develop microbiome-based drugs, and in the next decade, we could see gut health becoming a mainstream approach to treating disease. If this episode got you thinking, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into science behind health and medicine. Until next time, listen to your gut. It might just be the smartest part of you. Thank you.